AltHealthWatch exists to be an alternative health research database. It is not only for researchers, it's also for consumers because it has not only peer-reviewed journals, but it has periodicals that are non-peer-reviewed, that are popular. It covers a range of alt health related subjects and it boasts 40 active full-text peer-reviewed journals, often peer-reviewed journals. Not all of the journals in this database are peer-reviewed. And 40 really is not very many. This is not the massive kind of PubMed type database where it's an incredible source of a wealth of peer-reviewed evidence. It's something a little different. And so we're going to look at this case for AltHealthWatch as a case study. TJ is a 45-year-old male who has been diagnosed with chronic insomnia. He has a family history of heart disease and has had hypertension and hyperlipidemia, for which he has been prescribed lisinopril 10 milligrams daily and atorvastatin 20 milligrams at bedtime. He has been prescribed zolpidem in the past, but did not like the side effects and wants to try something more natural for his insomnia. Given his past medical history, locate at least 2 different dietary supplement options that are available without a prescription that may be helpful and safe for him. I decided to start with this case study by because I'm going to do a search in a library database, I always go through a process of keyword brainstorming before I build my searches using Boolean operators. So I actually started out and I read very deeply into this case study, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have to come up with different ways to search for lisinopril and atorvastatin and all the different drug classes that they are. And I went pretty deep into this. And then I thought, it probably would be a more effective search approach if I first identified treatments for insomnia that are alternative medicine treatments, and then I could check whether those proven treatments are safe for someone, whether there are drug interactions listed, and I could use a drug interaction checker and could check whether they're safe for someone with these conditions. So after building a big old complicated search, I realized, why don't I first just use the AltHealthWatch database to figure out what are the most promising looking dietary supplements or herbal natural remedies for chronic insomnia. And that's a much simpler search to construct. And so really, insomnia obviously is going to be a keyword. I'm going to use the Boolean OR to put sleep as well. I'm not going to bother writing sleep disorders, all that stuff yet, because the word sleep will get all those variations. And obviously, sleep is a highly relevant concept to insomnia. So I'm just going to start out broad. I'm going to do insomnia or sleep. I don't care which word. And then for a search on dietary supplements, there are a number of different ways this could be expressed, a number of different things that this could cover as an umbrella term. So after brainstorming, and this may not be the best way to approach it, but after a quick brainstorm and a quick search, you may even do better than I did with your predictions for what is going to be a helpful keyword, because searching is all about iterating. Then I'm going to search dietary supplement with a star after the T to get supplement, supplements, supplementation, supplemental, all of those different word endings. Or plant extract or herb with a star to get herb, herbs, or herbal, or vitamin with a star to get vitamins. This is just me. This is just an initial search, so I'm not promising that this is the best or only way to get records about dietary supplements. It's not a topic I search super often, so I probably don't have the perfect search, right? So I'm going to have to iterate. That's totally normal in a search. So what I'm going to do in order to access AltHealthWatch, the database, is I can start on the library homepage and hit the Databases tab, which is in the middle of the page. And this will give me an alphabetical list of all the things that the library subscribes to on our behalf. And then if I scroll down to the AltHealthWatch, I can choose the database and hit Go. And now you may know the trick when you're searching in a library database to come here and go to the advanced search. That's something that I always highly, highly recommend, because once you have that, you can just take your first concept, which is multiple keywords combined, synonymous keywords combined with the capital OR. As you see, I don't need to search sleep disorders or sleep disturbance, because just searching the word sleep will find both of those variations plus more variations. And then I'm going to try my search on dietary supplements, and this is the way I've written it out. Again, you may choose to search differently, but I am going to search these two concepts ANDed together. I'm going to leave the AND selected as is. I'm going to run the search, and now I get a little frustrated with library databases sometimes, because you run a search and you look at stuff you found, and it won't seem very relevant right away. And then you'll realize that the sort order is showing you the newest records first. And this record met my search criteria, but it doesn't seem to be highly relevant, doesn't seem to have a primary spotlight on the topics I chose. It probably just mentions the words dietary supplements and sleep. So it might be relevant, but if I just change this sort order here from date newest to sort by relevance, that can really give me a chance to just get the best stuff up at the top. So as we start to scroll down, although they're still not very relevant. So the next thing that I can do if I'm getting impatient with the quality of my search results is that I am quite an impatient person, and I like to change these drop downs to title. If I'm just looking for one great article on a topic, I'm going to lose a lot of good stuff in my 800 results this way, but I'm probably going to wind up with the best stuff up at the top. So I ran my search. I'm down from 800 articles to just less than 30, because I forced one of these words to appear in the title and one of these words to appear in the article title. And now if I look at this, it's more highly relevant, right? Plant extracts for sleep disturbances, a systematic review. And this one is from 2020. If I am getting older stuff that I don't want to see, I can always just change the date here to show myself only stuff right within the past 5 or 6 years if I wanted. And I still have this top result. It's a fairly recent article. So, but I want to draw your attention, because AltHealthWatch is such a small database, it doesn't really source from very many peer-reviewed journals. I can see that this is a peer-reviewed journal. It's evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine. But if I'm not familiar with that journal, I'm going to take the name of the journal and copy it. Just Control-C or copy. And I'm going to open up just regular old, plain old vanilla Google. Because my question now for this database is this a reliable journal? Is this a journal that's peer-reviewed? Is it well-regarded? Is it from a well-regarded publisher? If you search the name of a journal, often what will happen is that it will come up in Wikipedia. If the journal is well-known enough or notable enough, it will come up in Wikipedia. And I always strongly encourage you to do this extra homework, especially in this subject area with your journals. Evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine is published by Hindawi. If you're not familiar with Hindawi, you can always open that article up. It was purchased recently, so these publishers just constantly buying each other. They're all buying each other, right? There is a section in this Wikipedia article about how much Hindawi grew. There are a number of journals that published, unfortunately, fake papers. There are a number of Hindawi journals that were accused of potentially being predatory. That's not to say the article that we found is not reliable, but it's starting to give us a few questions. So let's go back over here to evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine. So initially the journal was entirely open access. However, authors have to pay an article processing charge. that's normal with an open access journal. One of the founding editors, Edzard Ernst, has described the journal as useless rubbish, primarily due to ineffective peer review. Oh dear. This is not a complete rejection out of hand, but if you want to know more about criticism of this journal, Wikipedia has links to its references. When the articles are well written, you'll be able to come in and read more. So you can read this person's opinion about the peer review system and the problems at EBCAM. So while I don't think it's a reason to reject this article out of hand, it might be sort of a red flag to start to think, maybe I should look at this a little further. Maybe I should look at the author's other work. Maybe I should look at the quality of the citation, and it's a systematic review, so maybe I should look at the quality of the methodology. And maybe, even if I consider this to be a useful article, maybe I want to keep looking for some additional evidence to back this up. So what I would say about AltHealthWatch is you really want to approach articles you find there with some extra skepticism. So that's what I would recommend. That's a little intro to AltHealthWatch and why you may not want to use it.